Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I see their founder released twice a day. Gotta say, he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase this fiscal quarter. Yes, you can in fact mount it to an AR-15 standard Picatinny rail thanks to an included attachment. Again, a free flamethrower with every IT purchase. Go to toppingtechnologies.com to learn more. Lastly, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Wendy's closing 140 stores, but some more will be popping up. Now, this comes to us thanks to CBS News. They say specifically, quote, Wendy's to close 140 more restaurants by the end of the year to offset opening of new locations. There you can see, oh, how do they not include one of their iconic pictures of the Wendy's brand? Now, they say, quote, in a conference call with investors, the company said these closures will be offset by new restaurants opening. Wendy's says it plans to open between 250 and 300 restaurants this year, which is quite a juxtaposition compared to TGI Fridays, which just a couple days ago, and now it's going to be closing dozens and dozens more, which, fascinatingly enough, I mean, Wendy's is really bucking the trend in most fast food. A lot of them are struggling. I mean, shoot, Red Lobster went bankrupt, last fiscal quarter, I believe, and as most fast food has lost all of its value, which used to be cheap, convenient, and fast, well, it's very much not really any of those things these days, with some people having receipts from McDonald's for as much as $20 to $30 to $40, which is just astronomical. Though you have to blame the Democrats and Republicans for driving up the debt, causing inflation as well. Understandable. Getting back to the specifics of Wendy's, they say, quote, Wendy's president and CEO Kirk Tanner said that the restaurants are closing because they are underperforming compared to the others. He said, quote, they're just in locations that don't build our brands. You look at a brand that's 55 years old and some of the restaurants are quite out of date, unquote. They know that the Dublin, Ohio-based Wendy's didn't provide a list of locations to be closed, but Tanner said that they are spread over all across the country. Quote, our focus is on building new restaurants because we know they will deliver overall above the average of these poor, underperforming restaurants. We overall want the best restaurants for our customers and the customer experience we want to deliver. Now, this is more astronomical, unquote. Wendy's had 7,292 restaurants at the end of the third fiscal quarter. Now, they also know that more than 80% are located in America, or some people call it the United States. Wendy's shares, their stock bumped 3.5% at the announcement of this, which begs the question, what is Wendy's stock doing? And when was the last time you actually heard or thought about that? Maybe a decade? I know, obviously, McDonald's is one of the most successful restaurant franchises in history, and I check their stock ticker every once in a while. But Wendy's stock, this might be the first time I braved it, or some people call it Google searched it. And still trading, well, I guess it's a fraction of what McDonald's is, literally. It's trading for $19.66 per share for Wendy's, which conceivably is less than the price of a meal these days at a Wendy's restaurant. Looks like, oh, geez. Yeah, year to date, when compared to the S&P 500, they're doing about as good as the food quality that they have, which I guess fast food roast to burn, what do they say? Let's just say, let's see. I know they had the Frosties. I think they sell the Frosty. That was famous in the 90s. Their beef used to be pretty good, but all my friends who shopped there recently said it's kind of gone downhill. Now, the past year, their stock's gone up 3.53%, which is awful. Year to date, their stock is up 1.6%. Granted, still doing better than Boeing, but that's a pretty low bar, or grounded plane. Now, in the past 6 months, their stock is up 0.2%, also known as negligible. Past month, it's up 11.33%, so that's a little bit better. But then, yeah, just a 1 or 2% points at this news. And last week, it looks like it went down by 0.3%, so kind of negligible. The only upside to this, and again, not financial advice, I mean, the revenue is $2.095 billion last fiscal report. Actually, it says 2022 in the summary for some reason. Got 10,200 employees, and the dividend yield, this pretty, as the youth might say, legit, 5.09%. Granted, some might argue you kind of have to have that to, kind of attract a certain type of investor, and as well as give an incentive to keep people, not selling their stock. But yeah, $19.66 per share. Now, that being said, I mean, shoot, I would never, granted, I like to joke, I'm not a gambler, but I reinvest in my businesses, so I wouldn't put any money in this, but yeah, just 1%, that, The best that can be said is not dramatically decreasing, past year. But again, a lot of businesses, at least the stock market, they're doing pretty good. A lot of businesses are kind of struggling with their sales a little bit. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the future is for Wendy's. Now, they also know that Denny's, incidentally, Denny's said they're going to close 150 locations by the end of 2025. So again, other restaurants that are kind of struggling as well. And maybe they're closing the underperforming stores, probably the ones that are a little more run down. And again, if you don't have proper upkeep, it does kind of look a little stingy. And I love old logos and kind of the historic thing. So I think if you had the old restaurants, but you actually, clean them and, kept it nice and tidy, I think that'd be kind of cool. I think that's one of the reasons why people kind of like Dairy Queen. It's almost like a little time capsule. But yeah, with Wendy's, it'll be interesting to see, can they make it out of this nosedive? Will those new stores be much more profitable? Will they attract new buyers? And when was the last time you shopped at a Wendy's? I think mine was when I was it elementary school or middle school? I distinctly remember the only reason my family liked it is because the parents liked the Frosty, which probably has about as much sugar as 12 Pepsis. But yeah, I think that, back in the 90s, the French fries were okay. Hamburgers are pretty good compared to like Burger King, low bar, granted. But Burger King has moments too. When was the last time I actually shopped at a Wendy's, and would you ever go again? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.